Hello again everyone, Edwin Lerner back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Venus sextile or trine Jupiter in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in the natal chart. They were a little bit concise, and some people may have referred to them as snappy, so what I decided to do is make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, well, if you have Venus sextile or trine Jupiter in a natal chart, well, you may find it easy to love, which is Venus, and enjoy Venus as well, expanding horizons, which is Jupiter. Now, if you have Jupiter, say in Aquarius as an example, expanding horizons may be associated with humanitarian, altruistic actions and endeavors. It could be doing something with astrology, astronomy, computers, electronics, aviation, innovation, meteorology as some examples. If you have, say Jupiter is in Aries as another example, expanding horizons may be tied into work in the military or arson investigation, speech therapy, doing something that requires leadership prowess and ability. Now also too, if you have one of these aspects in your natal chart, you may be, it can show enthusiasm, being enthusiastic, which is Jupiter, in terms of, making money, not being overly optimistic, but just having, that right amount of exuberance and enthusiasm in doing so. Now, let's say, Venus is in Taurus as an example, money that is made may be done, with a lot of, patience, persistence, and perseverance. It may be in some Taurus-related field, whether it be geology, carpet laying, banking, finance, agriculture, gardening, cultivation. It could be doing something associated with art or music as some examples. And also too, you may readily value, which is Venus, higher education, which is Jupiter. It's in the positive thing about, when you value something, it could increase the chances, I would say, of actually excelling in it. Now, let's say if, Jupiter, go to Jupiter in the zodiac sign Cancer as an example. Well, you may show a lot of dedication, devotion, tenacity in your college studies and higher education. It could also be, you may be interested in taking, some Cancerian related higher education course, whether it's something associated with cooking, culinary, restaurant work, plumbing, laundry business, doing something, maybe studying interior decoration or home caregiving, if that is actually a course offered in college. But anyway, another thing too about these aspects is that you may easily, be able to, really, it's really about valuing as well, I think, valuing sports, college studies, I stated college studies before sports, and I think, well, and also to sports and college studies, which is Jupiter, may be very beneficial, to your self-worth, your self-esteem, how you feel about yourself, which is Venus. Now, let's say if Jupiter is in Gemini as an example, sports-related activities, maybe the ones that are like those quick reaction ones, which can include racquetball, badminton, even handball, I would say, or, table tennis, ping pong, as some examples. Now, also, too, these aspects can indicate having, that right amount, of exuberance and enthusiasm, which is Jupiter, for artistic endeavors, and Venus is connected with art. Now, let's say Venus is in Pisces as an example. You may have an interest in art, that is the abstract art, or fictional, fantasy art. As some other examples, Venus in Aquarius, might be, very ingenious, innovative, maybe unorthodox art, even art connected with science fiction, things that are futuristic, as some examples. Now, Venus sextile or trine Jupiter in a natal chart may also manifest in being, lucky and fortuitous, which is Jupiter, in terms of, your relationships in general, which is Venus. And the thing is, now let's say if you have, your Venus, say in Leo, as an example. Relationships, including important friends, one or more may actually be a Leo sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be, those that are very, charismatic, magnetic, extroverted, flamboyant, showy, gregarious, magnanimous, generous, but yet may also be arrogant in some cases. It could be too that those people as well may be at home and be enjoy your sense of humor, which is Jupiter. Now, excuse me, if Jupiter is in Taurus as an example, humor may be the bawdy kind. If Jupiter is in Aquarius as another example, it might be that very kind of bizarre, unusual, off-the-wall humor. Jupiter in Capricorn, humor may be expressed in a very serious manner, but could also be, political, humor, as an example. Now, another thing too is that I would say these aspects can be auspicious for traveling abroad, which is Jupiter, that is peaceful and tranquil, which is Venus. Now, if you have, say, Jupiter is in Pisces as an example, places you go in terms of traveling abroad may often be by sea. They may be the places that you fantasized and dreamt about often. Jupiter and Capricorn may often be business, career related, long distance journeys. Jupiter and Aries can be ones that are very, abrupt, impulsive and spontaneous, as some examples. Now, also, too, these aspects may be favorable for money in Jupiter-related, endeavors. Whether it could be due to something with publishing, advertising, sports, the outdoors, college teaching, printing press operation. I would say also that this aspect in general can be positive and propitious for money because Venus is connected with money, Jupiter is prosperity, and you have a good relationship between the two planets. Now, I have this aspect. I have Venus sextile my Jupiter in my natal chart. I'm obviously not a real affluent or prosperous person, but what these aspects can do, it's not, it certainly doesn't guarantee any great wealth or affluence, but often, one, has the money that is needed when necessary, I would say, with these aspects. Now, another thing too is that these aspects too can be really positive, which is Jupiter, or having a positive attitude, which I would say is Jupiter, in terms of generating income and accumulating possessions, which is Venus. Now, if Venus is in Gemini, as an example, it could be where one has manifold possessions and has a variety of ways of, generating, income. It could be, Venus in Virgo may often, accumulate, a lot of health and fitness, type possessions. It could be too, Venus in Leo may have possessions that are connected with entertainment, games, whether it could be video or board games, as some examples. And also too, and it's also being able to do it without being over optimistic, as well, which is Jupiter. And the thing is too, these aspects, I would say, also can be advantageous in dealing with legal issues, which is Venus, that are connected with publishing, advertising, religion, sports, and foreigners, which is Jupiter. Now, the thing is, let's say if, Jupiter is in, or even Venus is in Gemini, legal issues, you know, could be involving slander, against you in some cases. It could be, if you have, something, Venus and Aries, maybe one of a more acrimonious nature, as an example. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Leonard saying stay well.